Hey, Curtis,
Hey Oz.
what movie you got for us this week?
Oh, this week we got a humdinger. We've got The Book of Mormon meets Ravenous with some Treasure of the Sierra Madre, all in the pursuit of all the pretty horses. This week we're watching Cannibal, the musical.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank
Well
you.
done. I was wondering where you're going to go because
Uh,
none of those surprise me.
mm,
All of them are very, very accurate to this film.
yep. Also, potential movies in the movie Marriage Orgasmo was in there. Of
Yes.
course, South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut was in there. Alive, Oregon Trail, Gold Rush were all
Hmm.
contenders for the movie
Yeah.
Marriage.
Yeah. Fair enough. Could have gone with Colorado Kid too.
Yes, could have. There was a lot
There's a
to
lot
pick
in
from.
there. Yeah.
I did have trouble coming up with the punchline. It's like what's some,
Yeah.
we need something with horses. There we
Yes.
go.
There
Yeah.
you go. Very well done. Welcome back, listeners and viewers, to another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, the podcast where we take a monthly theme, this month being trauma films,
Yes.
and we bring movies to it and talk about it for a while, and here we are. I'm one of your hosts, Oz.
I am the other host, Curtis.
And before we get moving on, we want to shout out our Patreon subscribers, Don S.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron A., Mandy K., Melissa L., Colin K., and Lyle M. Thank you for your patronage.
Yeah, we are also we're close to, at the time that this episode will come out, we're in the week of Patreon subscriber Mandy K's birthday. So happy
Oh,
birthday,
yes.
Patreon subscriber Mandy K.
Happy birthday, Mandy K.
Also, so appropriate that her birthday is in October with just the huge horror fan
Oh, yes.
that Mandy K is.
Yes. Absolutely. So happy birthday, Mandy K.
Yeah.
Cannibal the musical. We've watched this movie a lot.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of those near and dear to our heart kind of movies.
Yes, for sure. And it's so much stinking fun.
It is.
Um
The first movie, the first
yeah,
anything that Trey
yeah,
Parker and Matt
yeah.
Stone did, pre-Orgasmo, pre-South Park, pre-basketball.
Yes. There is there seems to be this through line in Hollywood that when people make it, it changes them.
Mm-hmm.
People will use Chris Pratt, for example.
Sure, that's a really good example.
Early Chris Pratt, doofus Andy Dwyer, lovable, laughable, and then he makes it, and that's great. Like, good for him. And you could still tell there was still some of old Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy,
Sure.
but then Chris Pratt became probably Chris Pratt's biggest fan, and now
They married a Schwarzenegger.
yeah, and he's married into the Kennedy family, and now like that shine is kind of left of what the public thinks of Chris Pratt. So it is nice to see when you also have people that have made it, and you can visit their early works like we're going to do today, and at least publicly they appear to not have lost a step. Like they are still in
their values.
tune.
Yeah. Their values have not shifted.
Yeah, they are still very much in tune to who they were at the start. And that is, I think, what we could probably say about Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So it is nice to see that, because this movie is a ton of fun.
Yeah. Filmed while they were still students at the University of Colorado Boulder.
Yeah. If this movie stars their film teacher.
Yeah, as well as members of their family. And, and just other friends and students on campus. It really was a DIY type of movie.
Oh yeah, and it's just so much fun. So
it is. Also, the only trauma movie, and we've got a 5-week month, or this for trauma movies this month in October of 2025. This is the only trauma movie we're covering that was not a Trauma Studios production.
It's the only one not directed by Lloyd Kaufman.
Yes, quite literally.
And so this one is directed by Trey Parker.
Yeah,
this one is written by Trey Parker. This one is produced by Trey Parker, among others. This one stars Trey Parker as Juan. He plays Alfred Packer.
Yes, he does.
But he credits himself as Juan Schwartz,
which apparently, reading in the trivia, was one of the pseudonyms that the real Alfred Packer used when he was on the lam.
Yeah, this is a very accurate biopic, I should say.
Very accurate. Everything about this is authentic and real.
Very much so. So I've got the cast this week.
Yes. Who's in Cannibal ! The musical?
Yes, as the aforementioned Trey Parker, as Alfred Packer, the star of our show, the North Star to the story.
The sky is blue.
Yes. We also have Toddy Walters playing Polly Pry, the resident journalist that gets his story from him. And then pretty much everybody else is just along the voyage of the story.
Or literally along for the ride.
Yes, along for the ride. So we've got Matt Stone as James Humphrey, credited as Matthew Stone.
With one T.
Yes. I don't know. These two have been partners in crime forever. But clearly, at least in this production, Trey is the brains of the operation, and Matt is along for the ride.
Yeah.
We have the highly underrated Dean Bakar.
He's so good.
He's so good at playing Dean Bakar.
Yeah.
He plays George California Noon in this movie.
I know. I wanted to watch this movie with the commentary. I've watched and listened to it before. I didn't get a chance to refresh for this, but I'm pretty sure in the commentary for Cannibal, Trey just says like Dean's the only one of us who could actually act.
Yes. Yeah. I could see that for sure. And he's so good.
He is.
Typecast.
Yes. Yeah, he is typecast, but it works for him.
But I think you look at Dean. I haven't looked at his IMDb, filmography, but you get the idea that if Dean weren't typecast, Dean probably wouldn't be working.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason McHugh as Frank Miller. I do want to make sure I don't miss Stan Brakhage, which was their film professor. He plays California's dad. And then really just a bunch of others. You got John Hagel, Ian Harden, Duster, who plays the horse Leanne, which is a fun through line.
Yes.
Robert Murtore, Edward Henry, like a bunch of names you're not going to recognize.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people in the movie. Randy Parker, who plays he's Trey's dad, is the judge.
What are you gonna do? I didn't hear no bell.
there's so like they just ooh. It's so fun because this is all way before South Park.
Yes,
and it's South Park stamped all over it. Like it's just a blast. So, but yeah, again, a bunch of others. I mean, Passerby, Native Americans. Yeah, they're just there. You go, the voice of doom. And so that's where we are with the cast. There's a lot of people, but not many of them ultimately matter.
Yeah. It's the pack of explorers and then just the people they encounter along the way.
Right. So, what do you got for a plot?
Oh, for the plot of Cannibal the musical, which again is very, very loosely based on the real story of the real Alfred Packer. We begin with some on-screen text. We love our on-screen text. Treat us like we're dumb. Just tell us what's happening.
Yep.
So the on-screen text says this film was released in 1954, but was overwhelmed by the success of Oklahoma. And Alfred Packer the musical fell into obscurity. The original name for this movie was Alfred Packer the musical, but I guess Lloyd convinced them to change it to Cannibal the musical
because nobody knows who Alfred Packer is.
Correct. Yeah. So we really open on a man running in white snowy woods. A bloody man dressed in black appears behind him and bites his arm off.
and then proceeds to very slowly and wimply beat him with his own arm. There's no violence behind Trey's aggression.
No, it's at least in that moment. Yeah. We go back to him biting the throat out of another man, breaks the neck of another man, rips the tongue out from another, and dangles it above his mouth like an hors d'oeuvre. We then cut to a courtroom where the prosecutor is dangling like a red handkerchief above his mouth. And he's telling the story, claiming Alfred is a cannibal. So again, we're 10 years in the future in the present of, I think it was 1883. where Alfred Packer is on trial for killing the members of his mining exploration party. And yeah, he's on trial for killing and eating them as a cannibal. We cut to Alfred Packer, Trey Parker, in an awful crepe paper beard and mustache.
I love it.
But that's not the way it happened. We roll credits over some very crudely hand-drawn scenes from the movie, some upcoming scenes and characters and score. I do recall in the commentary for this movie how Trey is just he's so beside himself. Like, this took too long. These opening credits go on forever.
Oh, I skipped. I was skipping 30 seconds at a time 4 or 5 times to get through this.
Yeah. We then cut back to aspiring journalist Polly Pry visiting Alfred in jail as he continues to insist that he's innocent. Polly, before she entered, was told to ask Alfred about Leanne. That'll get him talking.
Yeah.
Alfred says she was beautiful. She had long dark hair, almond eyes, pointy ears, fluffy tail. She was fast. Pew! So the mention of Leanne definitely gets Alfred to open up about his story.
And this is where Polly realizes halfway through the description that Leanne's not a woman.
No, Leanne is a horse.
Yes.
So we cut back to where the real story begins. 10 years ago in 1873 in Utah, Alfred is riding Leanne the horse and singing an amazing song.
Yes.
It's a spadoinkle day.
Yes.
The sky is blue and all the trees are green. I love it. When I say it's a spadoinkle day.
The sun's as warm as a baked potato.
I love it. Oh, this song is so great.
Oh, I agree.
Alfred says hi to Swan, who's a very innocent Mormon man working in the mine digging for gold. No gold yet.
No.
But they want to go. Several of them want to go back to Breckenridge, Colorado. So go back the other way. Go east.
Yeah, let's go to Colorado territory.
Yes, Colorado territory. With Alfred as the guide, because Alfred has traveled from Breckenridge before, so they assume that he can get them there successfully and safely. Alfred introduces his horse Leanne to the group as it farts, disgusting the crowd. Very wet, juicy farts as well.
Yes.
We also meet the original guide, Lucky Larry, who was struck by lightning, and we keep cutting back to his corpse, like sizzling and still on fire a couple of times. I absolutely love it.
Mid song,
mid song, yeah. So ultimately 6 of them decide to head out. So we have Bell, who is an aspiring Mormon minister. We have Swan, who's kind of his buddy, I guess. Very innocent Mormon man. We have Packer himself. We have Humphrey, a chronic liar, habitual liar, played by Matt Stone.
Yeah. We
have Noon, who is an aspiring butcher and a very cynical man. And then we have Miller, who was the Dian Bahar character,
right?
Who's Miller, he's interested in the ladies, and that's what he's all about. He's never been with a woman. There's not a lot of women, in the community right now, and he's very excited to get to know women.
But he's also Dian Bahar. He's half their height.
He's also Dian Bahar. He's just a very small man.
Yeah. It's so great.
So we cut to them traveling, and they're already behind schedule. We fast forwarded several weeks.
Yeah, because this was going to be a 3-week trip.
Yep.
And we cut to 4 weeks later.
Yes. And they're on their way to Provo, Utah, and they run into a harbinger along the way. A great horror movie, Harbinger. You're doomed. You turn back now.
You're all doomed.
You're all doomed.
I love a harbinger. I would put a good harbinger right up with street punks for me. I love an 80s street punk, but man, do I love a harbinger.
Yeah. I love Cabin in the Woods, the harbinger in Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
How they make that explicit. Like, you're the harbinger. Like,
yeah. Well, and he's not as extreme as like the one in like the early Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name off the top. Ralph.
Okay.
You're all doomed.
You're doomed.
And then he gets on his 10-speed and rides away.
So they finally arrive to Provo, and we meet Frenchie and his pals, who are their trappers.
Yeah.
So they're animal trappers. They're trying to trade fur. Alfred catches Frenchie and his pals with Leanne, the horse. Like, they're petting Leanne, they're getting to know Leanne, and Leanne is not turning them away. Frenchie says that he wants to take Leanne, and warns the diggers. That's what he calls the miners. He calls them diggers, very derisively. They're diggers, about their treacherous journey. But Belle says, we have Jesus on our side. So, yeah. So they feel safe.
There it says he's their wingman.
Alfred is very, very put off and very shaken by the attention that Leanne is getting from Frenchie, as well as the fact that, again, Leanne is not sending them away. She's not, turning them down. It's shaken his confidence.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a reason.
Perhaps it could be that there was an actual person named Leanne, that the through line, the Leanne horse is the through line story of the movie. And one of the inspirations for Trey to do this was that there was a real Leanne.
Yes, there's an origin story.
Yes, that he dated, and she cheated on him.
Yeah,
and
this is a therapeutic movie making experience.
So he named the horse after his ex-girlfriend. Very petty, but still funny.
Very Trey Parker.
You're right. Very Trey Parker. We learned that, again, Humphrey is a chronic liar. Miller wants to meet women. Noon is angry. Belle and Swan are super Christian Mormon. And then Miller starts leading them in a song. That's all I'm asking for. As we get to know the characters a little bit more, and what drives them, what gives them purpose. Overnight, Leanne wanders off. Alfred never ties her up because he can count on her.
She's trustworthy. Yeah. I should be able to trust my horse.
And so she wanders off, and most of their food is on her. There's a fun bit where Alfred is calling for Leanne the horse, and he does the thing where he puts his fingers in his mouth to whistle, but it just makes a like horse neigh sound. As the party continues to walk through the wilderness, Humphrey warns the group, "Watch out for that bear trap." As Belle then immediately steps in the bear trap, is severely wounding his leg. After the group struggles across and gets swept by the Green River, Miller and Swan comfort Alfred, who misses Leanne. And of course, Alfred breaks into a song about missing Leanne called "When I Was on Top of You."
Yes.
Because Leanne's a horse.
Yes.
In the movie, when he was on top of Leanne.
And if there's anything Trey and Matt aren't good at, it's like songwriting is something they excel at. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of crudeness to this that, of course, we'll get to in the 3-2-1s, just as early amateur filmmakers. But writing songs and lyrics is one thing that they are strong at.
Yeah, Trey in particular, and that's honestly why I went with Book of Mormon for my Parker Stone reference in my movie Marriage, was just because it's a musical, and even though South Park is also a musical too, like the South Park movie, like this really is a musical. It's patterned after Oklahoma.
Yeah, well, and they even in Orgasmo and Basketball, there are songs that they've written that are catchy and solid, and they even formed a fake band called DVDA just to write these songs.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And we will not.
I was going to ask you what it even stood for.
Yes, I was about to ask you the same thing. We will not go into detail as to what that acronym stands for, because this is a PG podcast.
Yes, it is. That would be beyond an R podcast.
That would be well beyond an R. Yes. After Packer declares that they're in Colorado territory, they're spotted by a local Native Americans who are being played by Eastern Asian actors, and more specifically, they were played by, I think, Japanese, foreign Japanese students who were attending Colorado Boulder at the time.
Yeah.
And I guess the tribe leader was a local sushi chef at a restaurant right off campus. Yeah. Noon pulls a gun on them, but is quickly disarmed by katanas because
that's the tongue in cheek of this. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, parts of this movie have not aged well. But again, as we said during the first episode, this is of this
Trauma.
month. This is trauma month, and everything's in poor taste.
Yeah.
Often intentionally. So they're taken prisoner and taken to the tribe. However, the tribe is actually pretty welcoming of them.
Yeah.
The chief warns them there's a really bad incoming winter storm because again, they're in the Rockies.
Yes, it's going to happen.
And we also discover that Frenchie, the trapper, and his men are also there. The trappers then break into a song called the Trapper Song, which is also hysterical as well. I think Trey dubbed the singing voice of Frenchie, but they let the other two guys sing their parts.
Okay.
And when I forget the names of the other guys, the one with the darker hair with the skunk hat is just so off key.
Yes. Oh, he's terrible.
It's hilarious. Yo ho. So we cut back to the present here, and we get Judge Randy Parker has declared that Packer will be executed by hanging. He was found guilty, Oz, and he's going to be hung.
Yeah.
Polly breaks into song as well, singing a song called "This Side of Me." As she is falling for Alfred Packer. Yes. She has developed feelings for him. She recognizes that this man, I don't think she's come to the conclusion whether he's innocent of his crimes yet, but this is a gentle spirit.
Yes.
And what appear, at least in conversation and observationally, appears to be kind of a gentle soul.
Right.
And so she falls in love with him. I do like the bit while she's singing, she's on a staircase.
Uh-huh.
And a man dressed in like normal, like early to mid 90s attire. It looks like he just walked out of LL Bean, walks down the stairs, and she's kind of looking into the middle distance as she's singing. And so he walks down the stairs as she's singing and just kind of looks in the middle,
trying to see what she's looking at.
And eventually he just shrugs his shoulders and just keeps walking.
Just man on set.
Just wandered in. We go back to the past, back to 1873. Our band has decided to leave this tribe despite the snowstorm. Alfred tells them we've got to get going because, and we, the audience, know this, he's still after Leanne. He's trying to find Leanne. And so he convinces the group that let's keep moving. Maybe we can beat the storm. However, very quickly they get lost, that they run out of food. As the group is, on the brink of starvation, they're frostbitten. They come across a tiny, adorable-looking lamb just out in the wilderness. And as they are about to shoot and kill this lamb for food, because they're out of food, they encounter the Cyclops.
Yes.
The chief had warned them, watch out for the Cyclops.
Right, yeah.
Oz, how would you describe the Cyclops in this movie?
Misplaced. Yeah, it's one of those where if you haven't figured out in this movie yet, everything is so outlandish.
Yes, everything's over the top.
And we are watching Alfred Packer's retelling of his story to Polly. So that's, so we've got to take it as fact. But yeah, the Cyclops is ridiculous.
Yes. Not this Cyclops.
No, here, not that Cyclops. Yeah.
Yeah. So Puss is shooting out of, he has one eye. It's just a very tall man.
Right.
With a scarred face. He's missing his left eye.
Yeah.
And there's just like goofied pus just squirting cartoonishly out of his eye.
Yeah, like you said, it's not Scott Summers. It's also not like Jason and the Argonauts. Like, it's a fitting title for a man that's missing an eye.
Correct.
But it's still gross.
It's very gross. And he gets mad because that's his lamb. Like these are you those trappers who keep killing my sheep? And apparently he's also from the deep south. The Cyclops somehow ended up out here in Colorado wilderness. And so the band pretends that they're from the deep south, but eventually Humphrey, because he's a chronic liar, can't keep the ruse.
Right.
And the Cyclops ends up chasing them off. The group is in dire straits, Oz. Again, they're
Oh
out
yeah,
of food.
they've been in dire straits since they lost Leanne.
Basically, yeah. And as they're trying to figure out what are we gonna do, we've got no food, we're sick, we're frostbitten, we don't know if we're close to Breckenridge or not. Swan decides to lift their spirits.
Oh, I love this
By
song.
breaking into an amazing song called "Let's Build a Snowman." We can make him our best friend.
You can name George.
He'll have a happy face, a happy smile, happy point of view. Swan is tap dancing in the snow, which is hilarious because it's deeper snow. You can't see his feet. The snow goes up to his knees.
Yeah,
but he's making tap dance sounds.
Yeah, you can hear the taps.
Yeah, God, I credit the actor so much for this role. Just the goofy look on his face the whole time. Oh,
he's sold it.
It's great. And the other five are just staring at him like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
Like how like one of you says like, "You're frostbitten worse than the rest of us. How can you be this optimistic?" So later, they haven't eaten in a week. Swan goes to break out into song again, and Bell, his fellow Mormon, the guy who wants to open his own Mormon church, shoots Swan in the head, killing him.
Yes. He can't take another song.
He can't. Bell, it's the same guy who had the bear trap on his leg. His leg is infected. And they're out of food. And so Oz, they decide they're going to eat Swan's corpse.
Yeah, they were discussing that night over the fire, like the Donner Party.
Yeah.
And what they had to do to survive. And so they just kind of keep looking at Swan. Like, well, let's do it.
Even his corpse still has the dub smile on his face.
It does. Yeah, he's still smiling.
And so they decide to eat Swan. And again, the Jason McHugh character, whose name I'm forgetting right now, Miller or Noon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Wikipedia has it wrong or we have it wrong. It's probably Wikipedia.
I might be wrong. Okay. Anyway,
Wikipedia is wrong.
He's a butcher by trade, and so and so Humphrey tells him, "Go butch."
He's a good man to have on your side when you need to carve up some meat.
Yeah, and so he starts carving up Swan, and of course Humphrey says, "You're cutting into his butt." What kind of piece do you want? Not butt. We then get a dream sequence. Packer falls asleep. It's him dancing in tights. He's on a soundstage dancing in tights. And Frenchie comes up also wearing tights, and they have this epic battle to which Frenchie stabs and kills Packer in the dream. Back to reality, Bell calls out Packer for leading them after the horse. He's like, "You were after your horse the whole time." And they end up getting in a fight. Packer goes to scout ahead. The group is like, "We can't go on any further." Dean Bahar just says like I can't stand up. And so Packer says, I'm going to go look over this ridge. Maybe we'll see something. And so he goes off on his own for a bit, comes back, and Miller, Noon, and Humphrey are all dead.
Yes.
They're all dead. The only one still there is Bell. Bell says, "Well, they attacked me. I had to defend myself.
They were going to kill me and eat me."
And Packer doesn't believe him. And I don't think they ever really, I don't know if Bell really ever says, "Yes, I did it maliciously," but the insinuation is that Bell just did it.
He just did it. He clearly is broken.
Yeah. And Bell says, "We've got enough meat to last us for weeks, maybe even the summer. The Lord works in mysterious ways."
Yeah.
Packer starts speculating, "I don't think you did this in self-defense." And then Bell goes to attack Packer. However, Packer grabs a meat cleaver that Jason McHugh's character had and buries it in Bell's face. Like hilariously, it's one of those bits where half the cleaver is sticking out of his face.
Pretty impressive swing.
It was. He really dug it in right through the skull and everything. We get several more jump scares from the Bell character, because you would think having a meat cleaver buried in your face would probably be the end of you. But nope, he gets back up and Packer shoots him in the head. gets back up. Packer gouges him in his other eye with a stick, gets back up, buries a pickaxe into his chest, and that finally is the end of Bell. Yeah. Back in the present, Alfred tells Polly, I stayed there for weeks, living off the bodies of the four. I ended up finding civilization, but was later arrested.
Mm-hmm.
So sometime later in Sawach, the town where the in the present is in 1883,
right.
And alone, Alfred encounters Frenchie and his thugs with Leanne, and he realizes Leanne was not stolen. Actually, this is still in the past. I just realized I made a mistake. We're back in the past, and Alfred, he runs into Frenchie.
Mm-hmm.
Leanne is there. He realizes Leanne was not stolen. She left him for Frenchie.
Right.
In a bar, Alfred confronts Frenchie, who says everybody in town has ridden that horse. And the drunk sheriff, who apparently was actually drunk, like the actor was wrong, and you can tell.
Yes,
like you can really tell. Confronts Alfred, saying, we found the bodies up in the mountains there, and that Alfred is a cannibal. The entire bar gets up, and they beat up Alfred. And then Frenchie comes up after Alfred's been severely beaten and says, "Wait, he's mine." However, Alfred, upon seeing Frenchie, he garners his spirits and he roundhouse kicks Frenchie in the face, and then repeatedly pummels Frenchie right in the groin.
Yeah.
Punches, kicks, headbutts.
Oh yeah.
The rest of the film, Frenchie is speaking, as if he's sucking helium.
Yeah, very high pitched voice.
Back in the present of 1883, the town sings a song called "Hang the Bastard," with choreographed dancing and a cowbell solo. Pre Christopher Walken cowbell solo. And just as Alfred is about to be hung, Polly rides up and says she has a stay of execution from the governor. Turns out that all of these actions happened before Colorado was formally granted statehood.
Right, yeah.
And so he cannot be tried or let alone found guilty by a state's attorney.
Right.
Loophole gets about.
She's a good journalist.
She is a good journalist. Frenchie, however, jumps up on the platform and pulls the lever, releasing Alfred's body. However, the chief arrives with his katana sword, cuts Alfred loose, and then cuts off Frenchie's head.
Yes.
Which hilariously bounces down the stairs into the crowd. Alfred and Polly sing a little bit more of "It's a Spadoinkle Day." They kiss, and we get one last jump scare as Bell appears again. 9 years later.
Yeah.
Still with the cleaver in his face, the stick in his eye, the gunshot wound in the head, and the pickaxe in his chest for one last jump scare. And we roll the credits there, Oz.
I love it.
What a movie. Cannibal the Musical, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Any final thoughts about this one before we get into our comedy bits?
This, in a lot of ways, this movie's like very Mel Brooksian.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
Yeah, and that's, probably one of the reasons that tickled so much is just the outlandish. I've said it before. I love it when filmmakers make the movie they want to make.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun and we're doing it for us. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, whatever. Yeah. And I love that.
Are there some things in this movie to be offended by?
Oh, yes.
And not that what I'm going to say next justifies anything. Those things are done in a very silly manner, which it's I love your I really love your Mel Brooks comp there, because if we reflect back to Blazing Saddles, it was basically the same bit with the Native Americans.
Oh yeah.
Only in Blazing Saddles, the Native Americans were played, and obviously played by Jewish actors, speaking Yiddish.
Yes.
Whereas in this, we have Native Americans played by Japanese actors speaking Japanese.
Yeah, it's super silly, and very tongue in cheek.
Yes. Done so obviously that they're not meaning to offend.
Right.
Again, not that meaning to can cover everything. But again, the bit is very obvious and very silly.
Yeah.
So, hey, folks, at this point in the show, Oz and I give our unique rating to the film we've been yapping about, Cannibal the Musical. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm going to give it 8 baked potatoes.
Your heart's as warm as 8 baked potatoes.
What are you giving it?
I'm going to go with, let's go with 88 flatulent horses.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Just the fart sound they use for Leanne. Oh, I love it. Every week, Oz and I scour the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well in this week's edition of Outside Insight. Oz, what is your Outside Insight?
I have 2 very quick ones.
All
The
right.
first one says, it's a 5-star review by Linny, left in 2017.
Okay.
I nearly lost my virginity while watching this movie.
This movie.
Let's all mourn for what could have been. And then this one is by James, left in January of this year. Better musical than Amelia Perez. By that logic, it should have 7 Golden Globes. 2.5 stars.
Nice. Oh, that's great. Yeah. By the transitive property.
Yep. By that logic, this is better, so it should have better.
It should, yeah. That makes complete sense.
Yeah. So, what's your Outside Insight?
Mine, as always, comes from the Internet Movie Database. It is a 4 out of 10, left by Tzook2 in July of 2005. With a subject line, not at all enjoyable. This movie was barely worth watching. The only worth in seeing it is to be able to say, yeah, I saw that movie. I put a spoiler warning because I just may spoil this movie for you with a bad review. Some people have said if you like South Park, you'll like this movie. What a load of crap. First, there is no smart humor in the movie. In fact, there is not much humor at all. What there is bass. Second, the songs are terrible. I thought to myself, well, South Park has funny songs. Maybe this movie will, since the dialogue sucks. Nope. I give this movie a 4, only because they made it while in college. If I were comparing it to Team America, it would get a 1. If I were comparing it to other college films, it would get a 7. Average equals 4.
He's correct. His math is correct.
The math checks out, but I love the... Well,
I like to think that this guy went back and had to be like, wait, no, like I give it a 1, I give it a 6. Wait, no, that doesn't average 8. You know, like I like to think that to make his point, he had to go back and correct his math.
Yeah. I like the fact that you used a male word in there. This is clearly a male that wrote this. He's a guy. Yeah, because women are way too smart to take the time to do this.
Way too smart.
Yeah.
And they probably would not have watched this movie to begin with.
All right, folks, it's that point in the show you've all been waiting for, the Let's Talk About Flicks signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about this week's movie, Cannibal the Musical. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one is in reference to the on-screen text at the beginning of the film. More specifically, and I'm glad you didn't get to it, there was a part as you were reading it that the last line is, "We have removed the violent scenes."
Yes.
Cut to the extremely violent scene at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's just that control over the narrative of, everything was as it was intended to be. So the whole, we remove the violent scenes for your viewing pleasure. Cut to Alfred Packer biting a man's arm off, ripping a man's throat out, like cutting a man's tongue out. Like, and so I love that just the goofiness of that. 2, songs are super catchy.
Yes.
And so I love that. I'm not the biggest musical fan.
Same.
I appreciate I appreciate what they are. They're just not my speed.
Yeah, you and I are very, very similar in that regard.
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen them, and I like, they're good films, but a lot of people are like, to me, sometimes it detracts. Like, Wizard of Oz, perfectly fine. Yeah. Willy Wonka, perfectly fine. This, perfectly fine. But then, like Chicago, I'm good. Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just means it's not a movie for me.
Right. Yeah. It's a great movie. I saw it once, and the music wasn't bringing me back. So that's okay. So the songs in this movie are super catchy and I love it. And third, and I've mentioned it probably 3 or 4 times, this movie's just fun. Like top to bottom, everybody's having fun making it. You're having fun watching it. It's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
Is it violent? Yes, it's extremely violent. But even the violence is fun. It's not realistic. It's just fun. And I love that. So those are my 3. What do you got?
Let's go with my first good is just right at the beginning, Lucky Larry. As they're singing the song and we're meeting the characters, we keep cutting back to his sizzling corpse. And I don't know what it is. I just find it funny how they cut back and there's a corpse just
as they're all breaking out in song and dance around him.
Yes, as if Lucky Larry's corpse is a character interacting with the scene.
Right, yeah. Like cut to Larry, see what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just there still smoking it on fire.
Still sizzling.
He's still sizzling. So that's my first good. My second, all 3 of my goods are just little bits from the movie. Like, there's no deeper meaning here. My second good is just there's a really sweet scene while Alfred is singing When I Was on Top of You, where it flashes back to young Alfred and young Leanne. And and he's probably like 4 years old. And Leanne is either a pony or like a miniature horse.
Yeah.
And it's really sweet.
It's like they grew up together.
Yeah. And they have this life together and then she leaves him. And just how heartbreaking it is. And my third good is just right at the end, after the chief decapitates Frenchie and his head bounces down the stairs into the crowd. The head goes, ow, ow, ow. As it's bouncing and rolling.
Still cognizant.
Yes, yeah, he's still able to verbalize the pain that he's apparently still feeling. So that's my third good, is bouncing head going, ow. What are your 2 bads?
My first one is the audio in the courtroom was pretty bad. It was very echoey, but at the same time, you're on limited budget. You're doing it for fun, so it's nitpicky. So inside audio was left much to be desired.
Sure.
And 2 is because of the intense production schedule of South Park, we don't have enough Stone Parker outside of South Park.
Sure.
We have this before South Park. We have Orgasmo, we have Basketball, and we have Team America. And that, as far as I know, that's what we've got. And I'm a fan of all of those films. And it's just like, but again, because of their insane production schedule for South Park, they don't have the time. So that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of comedy gold outside of South Park that these 2 could have wrangled, and it just, I won't say missed opportunity, because obviously they are doing just fine, but it was like, oh man, like would have been nice to get a couple more films out of them. I know we've got South Park, the movie, but that's still South Park. So those are my 2 bads. I would have liked more Stone Parker productions.
No, I couldn't agree more with that.
What are your 2 bads?
My first bad is the Jason McHugh's character had a really bad fake belly. He didn't look human the way his body was shaped, and I don't know why it was necessary to give his character a fake belly. Just it was so. I mean, again, it's super low budget, and I get that, but like if it can't look realistic-ish, don't even do it. Like
exactly, yeah.
So. Like, I can buy the bad crepe paper beards and all that. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But like, you don't need to stuff a pillow under somebody's shirt.
Right.
So that's my first bad. And again, I'm being really nitpicky here.
We have to.
Yeah, because it's a Troba film.
Yeah.
And my second bad is I thought that the love story between Polly and Alfred was a little much.
Mm-hmm.
It messed with the pacing a little bit as well. Like, it's, when they were cutting back to the present of 1883, the more Packer and the band weren't on screen, the slower the scenes without them really slowed down. And so I thought the Polly stuff was just a little much.
Well, I think we might have a little parallelism here. Whereas Alfred Packer was supposed to be leading an expedition to the Colorado Territory, but in reality, Alfred Packer was after Leanne. But of course, Leanne being the catalyst for this horse story. In some ways, you almost have this, here's Trey making this movie for fun, but also let's throw romance in there for my own therapy.
Yes.
As I'm trying to get over Leanne.
Well, yeah. It's really obvious where it's going. And I think that's the second time you've used the word therapy or a version of it. And he's clearly working through some things with the script.
And so with that being said, we watch it and you're like, it's enough Polly, but it's like, Trey needed Polly just as much as Alfred needed Polly in this film. Well, and we didn't need her, so get her out of there.
And I get why the character is there, and you have to establish a motivation for her to act. If she doesn't have some, I won't say love, but if she doesn't have a connection for the Packer character, then she wouldn't go through the effort to go to the governor. And
because we don't get the vibe that she's the Lois Lane type that is just going to fight for honest journalism for the sake of honest journalism.
Yeah, agreed. So, hey, Oz, what's your
Why don't we compare more things to baked potatoes?
That's fair.
Like, I understood perfectly how great that day was just based on how everything compared to a baked potato. So I would like to. Why don't we compare more things to baked potatoes?
That's fair, especially the warmth of a baked potato.
Yeah, because it's such a neutral. Such a neutral, but it's filling and it's tasty. But yet I've never met anyone that's like, my favorite food is a baked potato. Like,
I had a baked potato last night.
Yeah, I love a baked potato.
Yeah, courtesy of Isabel. Shout out to Isabel's Restaurant, my favorite restaurant in Woodstock, Illinois.
Nice.
Yeah, so they treat us well, and had a great breaded pork tenderloin and a baked potato.
Well, good for you. Yeah. I had a slice of Casey's Pizza. Shout out to Casey's. My favorite restaurant here in Lewistown.
Casey's as a restaurant. My favorite restaurant that also happens to be a gas station.
Yeah. Hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah. I have this. I have a soft spot for Casey's.
Yeah.
And I hate that Casey's is infiltrating the suburbs. There's a Casey's in Highland Park.
Ooh, that doesn't match.
No, it's
like having a Dollar General in Highland Park.
Yeah, it doesn't give the right vibe.
No, Casey's and Dollar General, stay true. Yeah. Stay rural.
Be what you are.
Yeah.
Patreon subscriber Melissa L can't stand Casey's, not because of the food or anything about it, but just because of what Casey's represents. She also is just continually put off by the fact that I am from south of I-80.
Right. Well,
which to her it basically means I'm from the deep south.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's I-80 is the true Mason-Dixon line.
It is
of those above 80.
Yes. But yeah, so she clearly married down.
Oh well, yeah.
When she chose me.
Yeah.
But
me, I married within the trailer trash that is south of I-80. So.
Well, gee gosh.
These are the only books in town, are the ones behind me.
Yeah, there's no pages in there either. It's just,
no.
Yeah,
that's where I hide my hooch.
Inside of books.
Inside of books. Yep.
And there's no jars or anything. You just pour it directly in the hollow of that book. Yeah.
Yep. That's all it is.
Yeah,
it's just
a
baggie.
There's a baggie out the in pages.
Yeah. It's how we live down here.
Ziploc bag of hooch.
Yep. It's how we live.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Your
I'm like, we didn't get to your yet.
No, we didn't get to my because we were so talking about baked potatoes and Casey's and hooch. By the way, Patreon subscriber Melissa L makes a Maine hooch.
Does she make a good hooch?
She makes her own hooch with different things. It's very tasty. So
it's because it's a north of I-80 recipe.
Oh yeah, I'd like to say that I inspired it.
Yeah,
being from south of I-80.
So
she's slowly coming down to my level. I'll get you there one day.
Yeah, to make her hooch, she actually buys pre-made alcohol to mix together. Unlike us folk from south of I-80 that have to distill our own.
Yes, I will say she's not fermenting her own alcohol.
Exactly, not like us down here.
Yes, it is a chemistry mixture, but
yeah. She's she's trying to connect with you in your southern ways.
Yes, my southern ways.
Yeah.
So my is quite simply, why isn't the word spadoinkle in everyday vernacular?
Should be.
Yeah. Like I almost use that as a good, like just there's like spadoinkle is used in this movie as a noun, as a verb, as an adjective, as an exclamatory.
Yeah.
Like it's like it really is an all-purpose word.
For sure.
Yeah, so we need to. Why isn't spadoinkle a thing, and how do we make it a thing?
And despite it not being a dictionary based word, whenever it's used, you know what it means.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're not confused when they say this is a spadoinkle day. There's enough context clues in the song that you know what it means. So it can be defined.
And the immediate response is, "You're right. My heart is as warm as a baked potato."
Yeah. Which it's just troubling. Baked potatoes can get pretty hot, but still, it's figurative.
We got to make this a TikTok trend. Like this, like spadoinkle will be the next 6-7.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
If the kids transition here after the next couple of weeks when they get tired of the 6-7 thing and
spadoinkle,
pick up spadoinkle, we'll see nothing coming our way from it. But we can rest our heads knowing that we did that.
We've influenced America's youth.
Yeah, not as educators.
No, as trendsetters.
But as trendy.
Yeah.
Nothing would be more 2025 than that right there.
Yes. Hashtag spadoinkle.
My teachers made a huge impact on my life. Oh yeah, because they gave me the term spadoinkle.
They inspired you, taught you things. No.
I saw his TikTok.
I saw my mid 40-something-year-old's teacher's TikTok, and
and I picked up the word from there and ran with it.
Yeah, spadoinkling all over the place.
Yeah.
What a fun movie, Oz. Cannibal the musical.
Oh, for sure. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna definitely watch it again soon, just to relive the experience, because it's been a long time since I've seen it.
This is a 5-week month, Oz. We were fortunate enough, because again, let's talk about Flix-averse. We measure time in Wednesdays, because that's when our episodes drop, and we just so happen in October 2025 to have 5 Wednesdays in this month, so we get 5 trauma movies, and we've blown through, the heavy hitters here from trauma, and so we're going to end the month with one that is just different enough from the others.
Right.
So, Oz, what are you bringing to us next week?
We're back with another Lloyd Kaufman directed film. We are going to watch Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD.
Yes, we are.
The story of a police officer who is also a kabuki theater actor. And how he combines both of those activities to help stop crime in New York City. We advise, if you are of Japanese descent and you don't have a sense of humor, you might want to skip this one.
Again, trauma films.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily excuse things.
No.
But it explains things. Things at trauma are intentionally done in poor taste.
Yes.
And
they are well aware of the buttons they are attempting to push.
Yes. And let alone the fact that this movie is now, 35 years old.
And in some odd, unique way, they are still doing it with some respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, in a weird way.
Yeah. Trauma doesn't do things that are mean-spirited.
No. They just... And if there's anything, they tear down the wall, or they break down the wall of, don't take things so serious. Yeah. Just have fun.
Well, again, it's the Mel Brooks comp is great. Again, Mel Brooks is more mainstream with how, his work has evolved. But there is a lot of Mel Brooksian layers and humor and principles to trauma.
Oh, for sure. Whether there's a connection there or not, but with Mel Brooks growing up Jewish and Lloyd Kaufman growing up Jewish, I'm sure there was a lot of, I don't want to use the word persecution necessarily, but peer negativity directed towards them. And so they learned to just, I can either be offended by it or I can just laugh with it.
Yeah.
And if I beat him to the punch,
correct.
It's not it doesn't hurt as much. And so they've basically made careers out of that, of like, hey, and can they get away with it? Well, they have, you know, but I've never, to my knowledge, I've never heard or read anything about either one of them basically taking the stance of it's okay because I'm Jewish.
Correct.
You know, so they just have fun and poke fun. And
yeah.
And Lloyd is definitely more extreme than Mel Brooks about it, but it's still just a lot of fun.
They're having fun with the stereotypes. You know, they're not, you know, just characterizing people in a certain way, but they make fun of the stereotype.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's well put. They're not necessarily making fun of the subject of the stereotype as much as they're making fun of the stereotype.
Yeah.
Because it is. And they go so extreme with that joke that it almost rolls back around to this isn't offensive because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Because it's meta humor.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we are going to wrap up the month with Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD.
I laugh at just the name of the movie is so great. Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD.
I love the idea generation of it too, of sitting around and it's like, is it just like, sometimes I've texted you on my way to work when I have like a theme idea and I'll be like, oh, I have an idea for a theme. If anything, more often than not, I text you so that I have a documentation of the idea so I don't lose it later.
Yeah.
But I also know that you know, because you're obviously here with me. But I wonder, like, where do these ideas come from for, like, Lloyd? You know, was he lying in bed and just wakes up? Or was he was he out as a cultured New York citizen? Was he out watching a kabuki theater and had you know, it's like where do these ideas spark?
Yeah, who and or what are Lloyd's muses?
Yeah.
What inspires Lloyd Kaufman?
Yeah, because I had the most recent one that I had an idea of, and I think I sent it to you, was I was listening to another podcast covering a movie that I'd never heard of, and the movie sounded bonkers, and I thought I would love to cover this. And it's not coming up this year, and who knows if anybody's even listened to this late, but it was Werewolf Ambulance, shout out to Werewolf Ambulance, covering a movie called Burial Ground. And then I listened to that and I'm like, wait a minute, like we could do Burial Ground, we could do like Cemetery Man, we could do Mausoleum, you know, and then of course in our humor, I'm like, and Tombstone, we could do Tombstone. Because that's not a cheap, that's not a cheap eight, but the theme being like, you know, it's Rest in Peace month, or, you know, and we're going to cover these, and then Tombstone, which does not fit the aesthetic as a cheap 80s horror film at all, but is by far the best film of that month. Yeah. But it fits, and it's just that kind of goofiness of like, well, that's where my ideas come from. And so I just wonder where does Lloyd get his ideas for Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD?
Well, and I'll quickly share the inspiration for one of the recent ideas I added to the chart as well. Patreon subscriber Melissa L and I were flipping through Pluto a couple of weeks ago, and the movie The Relic came on, which I'd never seen before. I was familiar with it, but I'd never actually seen anything of it. And I'm watching the movie, or the couple of minutes, and like I can't see anything in this movie. Like it's down in the sewers, and it's at night, and like I don't know what's happening. And so I added to our future possibilities the theme of turn on the dang lights.
I saw that.
It's a literally dark movie. It's not figuratively, because we often use that word like, oh, this is a dark movie with dark themes.
This is literally
I can't see anything.
You can't see anything. Yeah.
So
turn on the dang lights.
We may have a future monthly theme called "Turn on the Dang Lights."
Yeah, and I threw in the last one on the list.
I love that as well. Yeah. Those are all things that could be the second word in that theme. Yeah.
Yep. And so I'm like, that'll be a fun month. I do not want to watch the third movie, but that's why we should watch the third movie.
That's exactly why we should watch the third movie. We'll give a hint. It features Dame Judi Dench.
Yes. And butts.
And lots of butts.
So
and some digitally erased.
Yes, yeah. And so it's just fun. We got a lot of themes.
We do. We've got, again, we're at October 2025 at the time of this recording. We could easily get through the end of this decade.
Oh, I mean, I'm looking just at themes we haven't used. And of course, that's line 70 to line 129 or 199. There's 129 themes. That is another 10 years and 9 months of, so nearly 11 years worth.
I like to think that this podcast will exist into perpetuity.
I do too. I like to think, I mean, good Lord, 11 years, like I've got an almost 26-year-old. Like, you know, I've got a 25 and a 22-year-old, and here we are, like still cranking it out in our mid to late 50s.
I'm thinking we record enough content where we can like posthumously release episodes for another decade.
For sure. Yeah,
let's talk about flicks will live longer than we will.
People won't even know we're dead.
Man, they look great.
Yeah, it's like they won't even know that we passed.
And all those pop culture references they're making are so timely.
Plus, by the time AI gets to that point 11 years from now,
that's true.
Cake. Yeah. Just popping out episodes left and right.
Yeah, I can record an episode while in my iron lung.
Yeah, for sure. So, and look great doing it.
Yeah.
Social media wise, you guys can find us on Facebook and Instagram. We are on YouTube Shorts, and just like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that you're supposed to do to things you enjoy. We will be back next week with Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD. And so for another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
We'll see you guys then.
Spinoikel!